such a beautiful thing to be moved to tears, right?
I feel bad for people that can't cry. They really care.
Yeah.
It's like I need those emotions flowing around. Once I start, there's no
I
stopping.
only seen my brothers cry one time.
I hate crying because I'm not scared.
They don't have
I mean, there's. It's true. Alright. So we've got what? Ryan left? Is there anybody else who's going today? You're going today? Okay. Okay. Cool.
Go tomorrow. I mean Tuesday. It's no problem.
What time is it? Does anyone know? I can't.
11:52 Friday.
Okay. Let's.
Do you want to go or should
I mean, it doesn't. Who feels led? I go right now.
Just get it over with.
Okay. We've only got time for probably 2 more. So let's.
You trying to go right now?
I'll go whenever.
Okay. So we'll have Ryan and then one of you two will go? Okay. Let's give Ryan a round of applause.
Yeah, right.
Are you starting or do you want us to?
Not one second.
Okay. Give you a breath on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Today is December 1st, 2017. Now, oh wait, can I restart it?
Sure.
So today is December 1st, 2017. I'm here in Carbondale. My name is Ryan. Rewind 21 years ago, where at one point, that was me. So,
What was that?
Oh God.
and this was all that was all Russia. I don't know what they were saying in that song, but that was, I guess, the national anthem. So, like I said, 21 years back, my mom and my dad, I have no clue who they are. I don't know what they look like. I don't know a single thing about them. They met somehow, and they went on a few dates, and eventually that was me. I was born in Russia. Fast forward a year after that, so whatever year that was, I was now a year old, and wherever they went, I don't know. So now, come to America, right here, this is Chicago. This is my mom, and this is my dad. Okay, so they were together, and they had a child of their own, and she died a half hour after birth. So what did they do? They wanted a child, which is why I'm here. Now, they didn't want that to happen again, so they wanted adoption. Well, for some reason in their mind, they decided, you know what, we're gonna go all the way here, and we're gonna go to an adoption agency, and we're gonna find this little sperm, and that sperm wound up being me. Now, they adopted me, and the first thing is, what if? Now, what if I was never adopted and I was still in Russia? Remember that question. Now, I'm in America, and I'm growing up. So, it's crazy how now, back then, we as humans change. Our minds change, our personalities change, height, it's just everything changes. So growing up, I was a lot different than I am now. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you. I was interesting, I was like a little cartoon character. Well, I wasn't even into the things I was into today. I went to a Catholic high school from 1st grade through 7th grade, and I transferred. but before I get into all the transferring stuff, it was just so going to church every day and all that, it wasn't me. Well, I was bullied a lot from 1st grade through 7th grade, which is why I transferred. So this was me, little Ryan. Now I was one of the smallest kids in the school. I had no friends, and the only friend I had was a kid named Richard. And even until today, he's still a good friend of mine. And there was people who would slam me in the lockers, throw me into coat racks, just things that sucked. I would come home crying every day. My parents didn't really know what to do. So eventually, I transferred. Now, from my neighborhood, which is here, I transferred to a place called Evanston, which is a town in Illinois. I went to a private school, which is here. Okay. That place was called Roycemore. It was private from pre-K through 12th grade. I got held back in 7th grade because my parents thought I wasn't mature enough. Well, to this day, I think, what if I wasn't held back? And I hate that question because it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So I get to the new school, and they say the things you're into now are the things you're into back then as a child. Now, I'll wind again. I can remember times I was in my house and I bought this. I didn't buy it, but I got a gift, a little red Jeep. I used to ride this thing around and run over my neighbor. And it was very fun. So, and now today I'm into cars, and maybe that has something to do with it. You fast forward, you rewind again, and my neighbor James, who's now Jamie, because he had a sex change, was always into like the extreme stuff, cars, skateboarding, all that, and that's what I'm into today. So, come back to this school. I'm now a freshman. I'm in 7th grade. And I have the mentality I'm into cars, skateboarding, wakeboarding, all that weird shit. So no one at this school was really into that. They were all into basketball, football, dancing, things of that nature. And it was a very diverse school. Well, when you come into a school like that and you're one of the only ones who really like these things, people look at you differently. They look at you weird. So I had to deal with that from 7th through sophomore year. Now from 7th grade to 8th grade was fine. You know, I had some friends, but people still didn't really understand difference. They didn't understand diversity. They didn't understand any of that. Now, I graduated 8th grade, which I don't even know if you graduate 8th grade. You know, ceremonies? I don't remember that far. Okay. So high school comes around, and now I'm a freshman at this school. Now, I'm thinking, okay, high school, it's gonna be different. Everything's gonna be good. People are gonna be different. They're gonna be more accepting. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. So, freshman year comes around, and like I said, I was the smallest kid. I was one of the weirdest, like weakest, and I had very bad anger issues, I felt like back then, because, you know, I was bullied. No one really liked me. So, coming to freshman year, I didn't really have any friends, and I was bullied by this kid named Peter. I remember he was in the Army, and he would just come up to me, like punch me randomly. I'd be sitting on the computer, you know, doing homework. He'd just, what up, dude? Like punch me, not in the face, but like, you know. We had a thing called the lounge. So it was a room like this, kind of, and there was like a pop machine over there, some couches, and during free time, people would just come in, and they would just hang out, study, talk. Well, this kid, Peter, would always come in, so I was still a freshman, and I would just be sitting there on my phone. He'd come in and be like, nice dandruff. And he'd like look at me and be like, hey, look at this kid's dandruff, and like all this weird shit. So, I was like, whatever, it's probably just a phase. These kids, you know, they're just kids. So, fast forward to sophomore year, which was a turning point in my life. Sophomore year, I was still small, and there's this new kid, Andy. So, me being me, the friendly kid I am, who always wants to make friends, I go up to him, I'm like, hey, I like your shoes. He looks at me, looks around, laughs, he's like, okay. He walks away. I'm like, okay. So Andy meets this kid, Doug, who had an issue with me. For some reason, Doug would always try to fight me. So now Andy, being a transfer student, he wanted to fit in, just like I did. Well, his way of fitting in was being an asshole. So, Andy, he would always like pick on me in front of people. I remember one time we were in the lounge and I had a hat on. He would take my hat, put it in his pants, you know, rub it around there, and then throw it back at me, and just laugh. Things stupid things. So that went on for about 3 months, just things of that nature. Well, I told teachers, there's a teacher named Miss Showers, and this is Rain, so there you get it. So Miss Showers was one of like my mentors, I guess you could say. And I told her, and surprisingly, she didn't do anything. I told the principal, surprisingly, they didn't do anything. This went on for about 3 months, and one day we're at lunch, and people are, and they know I'm getting fed up. They know, you know, teachers aren't doing shit. So we're at lunch, and bell's about to ring. He starts pushing me, and there's like a group now, you know, circling around. I'm like, dude, you need to stop. And so he pushes me like again. I'm like, you know what? Fine, push me one more time. So he does, punch me in the face a few times, and people see this. Now, I'm not saying I'm a bad kid, I'm not saying I'm like some weird fighter, but that brought my rank up to here. Now, when I say rank, I don't mean like, you know, UFC, all that shit. What I mean is people saw that I was done taking. You know, I was done being bullied, I was done with all that. And there was people, we were in the principal's office, and this kid was like bleeding out his mouth and stuff, and random people would come up to me like, good job. That kid Peter went up to me and was like, good job. So, the question of, we go back to what if. What if this never happened? Okay. Junior year comes around, and that was the best year of my life in high school. I had a girlfriend who was like my first love, all that. She wound up being a cold-hearted bitch. Now that relation, I say that because that relationship made me who I am today. It changed me, and it made me respect myself and realize things in my life. So once again, we go back to the question of what if? What if I never met this girl? What if we never dated? What would I be like today? Finally, senior year comes around, and I had a friend named Conrad. So Conrad was about my only friend, and senior year was interesting because, like I said, the ranks went up and bullying stopped. You would think men are like, you know, the main bullies, but there are these 2 girls, Emma and Lucy. Now they were mean, they were cold. So I always got into fights with Lucy, not physical, but like teachers would kick us out of classes because all we would do is yell at each other like, in class. And you know, eventually that just made me stronger. So I go back to what if? What if these people actually respected me? Now you guys are probably wondering, Ryan, what's your point? What are you trying to tell us? Well, all these events happen in high school and growing up. The things you like, the people you hang out with, your style of clothing, music you listen to, they all happen because of the question of what if. Now, all I'm saying here is think to yourself, what if? And my question to myself is, what if none of this happened? What if I wasn't adopted? I would be in Russia doing crocodile, which I don't know if any of you know what that is. And it makes you realize that you gotta take life seriously, and it's very fragile, fragile. So just ask yourself, what if every day of your life? And that's what I have to say.
Okay, so I have to get this out of the way. Not cool to call women cold-hearted bitches. So we'll start there. 3 other things we liked about the performance.
I like that he was very upfront.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he was too upfront. Outward, you know. But he was upfront. He told us what happened to him. I think a lot of people experience bullying. I think a lot of people like experience it, and nobody wants to. I mean, you did a poem about it, but like nobody really wants to address it. So I like the fact that he was able to talk about it. So I like the